One of the main things that I've seen people talk about over the last couple of years, specifically since the stock market became a very big point of conversation on online web spaces like YouTube, Reddit, and a host of others, is how do I invest like the pros? How do I invest like people like Warren Buffett, people like Dan or Bill Ackman, people like any of these accredited investors that are very, very familiar in the overall conversation when it comes to value investing, growth investing, and in general investing kind of on a hedge fund style level. Warren Buffett is a specific person that a lot of people want to talk about. And I want to talk about today an interesting article that I have some opinions on and my specific kind of strategies that I use when it comes to value investing and that I think you guys will really, really want to know. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure to join our free Discord, guys, with the first link down in the description below. This is an amazing community that you guys can get access to our daily buy and sell alerts. We trade options on a daily basis, guys. And as you can see, here are just some of our results posted in the Join Us channel that you guys can check out with that first link down in the description below. I think you guys really enjoy the overall community and it's a great place to be. Overall, guys, market's still doing pretty well. Had a really nice market session last Friday and we'll have to see what it does this coming week. But let's talk about this. What Warren Buffett does, if he's not picking stocks, what is he doing, right? We know Warren Buffett is one of the probably most famous stock pickers of this generation, let alone of the last couple of decades, and he has been very, very successful with his overall performance. Keeping this in mind, let's talk a little bit about it, right? We always talk about Warren Buffett and his wealth and his specific skill range, but we don't really talk about kind of some of the finite details, more so about what he actually does specifically in the company, kind of how that kind of works and why he's so accredited. Now, let's start here. Buffett doesn't actually call himself a stock picker, so this article claims. His approach to investing revolves around something else, and he claims that this strategy is what has led to his market-beating performance. So what does Warren Buffett do? Let's back up for a minute and discuss what Warren Buffett actually does. He's a money manager for a holding company. Through Berkshire Hathaway, he invests other people's money. Berkshire Hathaway operates in two parts. It's a business, and it acquires and equity positions in other businesses, and it also has stock market positions that are worth $339 billion, which is just a massive, massive amount of money, obviously, that they are sitting on. That's a pretty big number, obviously. But Berkshire's non-market investments are also pretty huge, too. That's keeping in mind that Berkshire Hathaway also owns about $160 billion worth of assets that aren't even necessarily stock market based. These are just even like U.S. corporations, for instance, and other things of that nature. So when we look at kind of some of these positions that Berkshire Hathaway takes up, for instance, BNSF Railroad is a very infamous kind of list that you might recognize too as well. Berkshire says it's the world leader in float, and it's provided by insurance policies that can be used for investment purposes. The total float was somewhere around $164 billion in just 2022 alone, and this was cost-free money for the company to invest. So that's kind of just in general how Berkshire Hathaway operates as a company. Let's talk about Buffett's specific investing strategy. This is actually a quote pulled from this. He said, "Our goal is to make meaningful investments in businesses with long-lasting favorable economic characteristics and trustworthy managers. Please note particularly that we own publicly traded stocks based on our expectations about their long-term business performance, not because we view them for the vehicles for adroit purchases and sales." That point is crucial. This is from Charlie Munger, who is one of the executive vice chairmen of Berkshire Hathaway. And he also said, "I are not stock pickers, we are business pickers," he says. So that's a very kind of crucial point that he talks about there. And you can kind of see this, right? When you look at the overall portfolio that Berkshire Hathaway does kind of include, we of course, always see a lot of talk about Coca-Cola, for instance, American Express, and of course, even McDonald's. These are companies that have been really running at a pretty successful rate for a very, very long time. Their balance sheets are second to none, and they, of course, just in general, been so crucial in the stronghold that is the capitalism, the setup of the capitalist economy that we live in, right? These are companies that are super strong, and they're really just kind of blue chip companies, right? These are companies that for the most part are in some of these large index funds that are typically created to try and not only beat the market or at least average what the market does on a kind of on its own really in the first place, right? A lot of people are asking too, should you even invest in the stock Berkshire Hathaway? Because you can actually invest in Berkshire Hathaway shares. In my opinion, they're much too expensive for the average investor, and the return that you're getting from those aren't necessarily what I would call really shocking or life-changing. I think most of the time index funds make a lot more sense there. But even then, when you look at these specific value stocks, you are, of course, getting access to a lot of good things like dividends, for instance, right? Dividends are very common with these value-related companies, and that's a big part of why Warren Buffett invests in these companies, is because he knows that they will not only continue to hold value over time, but they will also continue to pay a dividend, and that dividend really provides a lot of income for the overall company that is Berkshire Hathaway, and it continues to obviously grow it as well. If you guys haven't already, make sure to join our free Discord, guys. Amazing community, like-minded individuals, all working to become better traders in the stock market, and we do our daily buy and sell alerts in there as well. First link down in the description below, and I think you guys really enjoy the overall benefits. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.